What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Lactic Acid and Track Talk. I'm your host, Dominique Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in countdown mode. The World Championships in Budapest are next Saturday. Think about how crazy that is. We are days away from the best athletes in the world competing on the biggest stage in track and field. And guess what? I got my brother, legend himself, Mr. Anderson Emerole of the final leg in track and field black history. He is going to break all the action down with me. Anderson, what's going on with you, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. It's crazy. It's 1 week, literally a week away. Next weekend, World Championships. There's so much that has been going down this season. So yeah, excited to talk about some of the storylines, man.
It's like the time is, I just looked, it's like it's August 9th already. We're about to be in the middle of August. Like this is insane how fast time is flying. Track and field season's almost over, but Anderson has been doing some phenomenal breakdowns. I know he spent some time at USA's. He's going to
Yeah,
be in Budapest checking it out. He is
yeah.
dropping some great breakdowns, some great in-depth analysis on different things. I know the most recent one, or not the most recent one, but one of the ones you dropped was Michael Norman
Yep.
moving over, switching coaches to the legendary John Smith. So please be sure to check out Anderson's channel, The Final Leg, doing big things over there. But we are going to preview the World Championships. We're going to do it in an unconventional form because it's not going to be event by event. It's going to be things that we're interested in. The reason we're doing that is because expect the unexpected. This is track and field. Crazy things happen. There's so many storylines that are already out, so many things that we're thinking about, so many things that have happened, transpired just within the past 3 to 4 days. But Anderson, just in a general sense, man, what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to these world championships that's about to kick off?
And it's tough to say the most, but I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't start with like the 100 meters in terms of like things that are kind of really open at the moment. It's on both sides, but at least let's say definitely the men's side for sure, where, of course you have Fred Curley, he's the world champion. He's probably been the edge on best guy, at least in terms of consistency this year, but it's not like he hasn't really separated himself from like the rest of the field, like maybe we saw last year with his, 9.7s. Um, and then, I mean, you have so many guys who are in that 100 meters. You have Curly, you have Omanyala, you have Christian Coleman is on the team, Noah Lyles, Tobogo, right? Akani Simbine, Zarnell Hughes, right? Like all these guys have a very, very good chance to not only medal, but win the 100-meter dash. And it's really, really open right now. I would say that Fred Curley is probably the edge on favorite for the moment, just because of consistency, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how everyone is going to turn up when we get to World Championships. That's probably the one I'm looking forward to, along with the women's, but the men's definitely for sure.
With the men's compared to the women's, I feel like the women's, there's two clear-cut people that we're watching. Well, really three. I'm sorry. There's three because the resurgence of Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, who was dealing with an injury this
Yeah.
season, and she's been consistently running 10.8. She said that she's not fully healthy from the injury. I do not believe. I think I read something today where she's not going to be
Yeah.
running in the women's 200. So she's going to put everything she has into the women's 100. And
Yep.
there's something to be said about championship experience. But Sharika Jackson is no slouch. And I
Yep.
know people made a big deal, oh, she's losing races and stuff like that. Same thing with Sha'Carri. I think the coaches do it on purpose because they're trying to fine tune something for the race, but also you got to look at Diamond League points. The Diamond League final is on U.S. soil. It's in Eugene, Oregon, in September. I forgot. I think it's September, 16th or 16th.
Yeah.
September 16th and 17th, which is going to be a crazy weekend. Anderson, well, we're going to put it in the atmosphere already. He's going to be there. We're going to be
Yeah.
there at Lactic Acid. So we will both be there covering things. And there's going to be a football game that weekend too. So listen, once you get done with track, go over to the football stadium. Hey, you might see Makai Williams,
Oh,
who
yeah.
is now a member of the Oregon Ducks football team, which is insane to me. But back on topic, and they're looking for points, so they need to get the points. But this is Sha'Carri's first time on the world stage on a championship team. and Sharika's kind of been here before. And then you got the
Mhm.
experience of Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. Talu is nothing to sneeze at. Like there's some runners that's just like, yo, if you are caught slipping at any given moment, one of these sprinters can come and take that spot. That's not the headlining name. So I'm looking forward to that. With the men, to your point, there's so much potential in that race. And a part of me thinks that because nobody has separated themselves, this is a race for a guy like Noah Lyles to win.
Oh
Because
yeah.
nobody has dropped like a 9-7 as of yet. Now granted, people have been talking about the slow 100-meter times. I don't know if it's fall over from last year and people are still kind of getting used to, or whatever the case might be, or if they're training specifically to peak, in Budapest and then later on in the season. But at the same time, there's potential in that. I mentioned Noah Lyles, but my head is kind of telling me Zarnell Hughes, man. And I'm going with Fred. I'll just be honest. I'm going with Fred. But Zarnell Hughes, if he can get the nerves out the way, because that is what has stopped him. If he can get the nerves out the way, that 984, he looked good, man. He looked good. He's got the 200-meter strength. And now you got this young kid from Botswana, Tobago, who, I mean, I still can't get over that 1950, dude.
Yep.
Like I still can't get over that 1950. And so yeah, man, I'm with you on that. I think the men, because there's not, and I don't know if it's fair to say there's not a headlining name, because I guess Curly, being the defending champion, is the headlining name, is wide open.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely wide open. I mean, I think Hughes, like you said, he got to get over those nerves. He's had, unfortunately his championship record is not great. He false started at the Olympics in 2021. He didn't make the final last year in the 100, and he's been to world championships before. He wasn't able to medal. If he's able to get over those nerves, then he's of course in the medal. He's of course in the gold medal hunt. But yeah, I think it's really flat right now. But I think someone definitely is going to not only run 10, somebody's going to win in 10-8. I'm sorry, someone's going to win in 9-8 or 9-7. I think we're going to see a fast time when we get to the world championships, despite, the quote unquote slow times. I mean, 9-8s, people have run 9-8 this year. People have run 9-9s, right? They're consistent in there. So I don't want to say it's like slow, but someone's going to drop like 9-7, 9-8. People turn up for the championships. But yeah, I think I agree. Like Fred Curley, just based on like head to heads, based on like consistency, I think Fred Curley is still the edge on favorite. But yeah, I think, I don't know. Lyles could get in there, but it's going to be tough. I'm saying Curley, Tobogo is in there too. A lot of guys are in there. Hanison Bene. So yeah. I don't know.
Omanyala, you can't count him out.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
Oblique Seville, when he's consistent, he's
True.
pretty good. Let me ask you this. I've been thinking about this, man. And this may seem controversial, but Noah Lyles is going to unequivocally go for the world record in the 200 meters.
Mm-hmm.
Could running the 100 kind of slow him down a little bit?
In my opinion, absolutely not. There's no way. Reason is, so just anecdote. I mean, example, 2021 at the Olympic trials, Noah Lyles ran both the 100 and he ran the 200. He finished 7th place in the 100 meters at USA's. He ran like 10 something. I don't know I forgot exactly what he ran, like 10 something. Yeah, and he came back, 10:05, 10 something, but didn't break 10. Went into the 200. He not only won the 200, he ran 19.7. And that whole year, he was dealing with injuries and setbacks and, mental health issues and various different things. So he's already proven that he can do a double at a championships, right? It's not going to affect him. And in addition, I think Noah Lyles thrives off of, people saying that he's not going to be able to do it, or like people being like, oh yeah, this guy is coming. He knows Tobogo is right there. He knows Area 9 is right there, right? He knows Zarnell Hughes and Kenny Bede, they're all right there, right? Like in just last year when people were saying, Area 9, he ran 19.4, people were like, oh, Area 9 is going to get him at USA's. Noah Lyles, edges him out at USA's. People are like, oh, well, got a couple more weeks. No, Area 9 is going to get him at Worlds. Noah Lyles breaks the American record. In my opinion, the 100 meters probably not to say it doesn't have any effect, but it really won't have an effect on his 200. I think that's his bread and butter, and he knows he needs to be ready for that, and he's going to be ready. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he won't get the world record, but it's hard for me to say that Noah Lyles won't get the gold medal in the 200 right now, for sure.
Oh, he's my pick to get the gold. I was thinking more of the world record. The saving grace is they do have a day between the 1 and the 2.
Yeah.
You know, which could be good or bad, kind of depending on it. I think, let me say this. If Knighton, Tobogo, and maybe one other, if they get out, if they get out and they're with him on that turn and they push him, I easily think he can go. I easily think he's either right there on the record or very, 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 very close. Ooh. One or the other. I don't see him running like 8 sub 19 or anything.
Yeah, no.
But I think if listen, I'm serious about this. I think if Tobogo was in lane 5 or 6, we may be talking about a different story in that race. I know that sounds crazy, but for him to do what he did in lane 8, you just never know. And that kid, he is fearless. And that's the one thing about him. That kid is fearless. And I think it's good for the men's 200. We're going to get to the women's 200 in a second. Well, we could do it now. Are we wrong to just consider this a Gabby versus Sharika showdown?
No, I think that's it's clearly what it is. And even in my opinion, I think Sharika, I think it's Sharika, and then there's a step back to Gabby, and then there's a couple steps back to everyone else. I think those two have significantly separated themselves from the rest of the field in terms of the 200 meters. Because you're talking about Sharika pushing up against the world record, potentially. She's already run 21.4. Gabby, of course, has run 21.6. There's really no one else. I think Julian Alfred has the next best. She's the only other person. Julian Alfred and Sha'Carri Richardson, they've gone sub 22, but I'm not even sure if Julian Alfred's going to run the 200 at Worlds. Right. But yeah, I mean, I think it's those two and then everyone else for the time being. Definitely somebody could like step up and, really, really surprise, but Shelly Ann said she's not running the 200 anymore. So they are really, really separated. It's going to, in my opinion, it's just determining how fast are they going to go? How fast they're going to go?
I am genuinely curious about the men's 400 because the one thing I didn't expect, I'll be honest, I did not expect to see Michael Norman's name on there.
Oh yeah.
I did not expect that. And he hasn't run a 400 this season that I've seen. Nope. He talked about dealing with injuries. He's now with John Smith. If he runs pissed off, I think he can do pretty well. Now, here's the question. What does pretty well mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's 2 favorites. Really, there's one favorite, and his name is Steven Gardner.
Yep. Right
behind him is Wade Van Niekerk.
Yep.
And then there's some other runners. I believe it's a Botswana. I think it's
there's there's Zambia.
Zambia.
Yeah. He's from Zambia.
And I think there was somebody from Botswana, and I may be mixing events, but I know somebody is not going. I'm not sure if it was a doping issue or not, but that was the interesting thing to me. It's a 2-person race. I give Steven Gardner the edge. Steven Gardner hasn't lost in like 6 years or some crap like that. Like it's absolutely insane. Like he is the dude that has been so consistent that we do not talk about. Like that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. What do you think Norman can do? And do you think of the American contingent that we are sending over to Budapest, he could be the one to medal?
So for the second question first, I don't think Norman would be the one to medal from the USA. I think it's too tall of a task unless just considering what he's done this season. I mean, unfortunately, he struggled with injuries all season. He ran a 200 in 20.6, I think, or something like that. He's run 1 or 200s and he's been pulling out of races. I mean, at least there's no indication that he's given to say he's in medal contention, maybe not even in contention to make the final. It's very possible that he could be like Doha 2019 when he, just kind of jogged through the heats or the semifinals or whatever it was. Like he didn't make it to the final. So yeah, I don't think he's in contention. I would love to be surprised though. I would love to see him drop something crazy and find a way to make the final and be in contention for a medal, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think, in my opinion, I think Bryce Deadman, who won USA's,
I agree.
and Vernon Norwood. I think this is Vernon Norwood. He's been having an amazing year. I think those two, and of course, let me not forget about Quincy Hall. He made the 400 team as well, but I think Bryce Deadman has been like really proving himself. He's run some amazing relay splits at the Tokyo Olympics, at the World Championships last year. Now, of course, this is his first 400-meter team. I think he's really going to show up. Now, I don't know if he's going to medal, but I think he has a very good shot along with Vernon Norwood to be able to get onto a podium. But there's some other guys behind Gardner. Gardner might go do something crazy. Like
I was about to say that. What give me a time. Just give me a time, whatever you think.
Honestly, I think Gardner can run. So he's already run 43.7 this year, which is actually his second fastest time of his career. I think he can run like 43.2 or better.
All right, we're thinking the same thing, but 43.2 what? My prediction is 43.20. My prediction is 43.28.
28?
Yeah.
Then I honestly think he could run like 43.20. I want to say he can go faster. I really want to say that he could. Could he threaten the world record? He could. I really think that Gardner could threaten the world record. Again, he ran 43.74, which is his second fastest performance of his entire career. The year that he ran his personal best 43.48, I think entering that championships, he had never broken 44 seconds yet, entering that year. So I mean, he can do it. He can get close at least, but 43.2.
I will say this. Him breaking the world record depends on how fast Wade Van Niekerk can push him. Or somebody else. I feel like if he's pushed with about 60 meters or 80, between 80 and 60 meters to go, oh, absolutely. If it comes down to the wire. I think Van Niekerk, I don't know if he'll ever get back to 43.03. Which is it's
crazy.
That's just so sad to me. And I hope I am wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Because I was like, he's for sure popping 42. And then obviously, tears his ACL playing rugby and different setbacks. But I feel like, man, I got like Gardner 43.28 and Van Niekerk like 43.79. And then Gardner kind of pulls away. Bryce Deadman kind of sneaks up with a 44 like 1, 44.2. That would be that. I'll say this, and it's a smooth transition. I think it won't be as crazy as what I think this women's 400 is going to be like. And the crazy thing, okay, so am I wrong? Are you picking Sid? Would you say Sid has the edge at least
in the 400?
In the women's 400?
In my opinion, I actually don't think she has the edge. I'm
not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. Paulino, if it's Paulino, then I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, of course. I think Paulino has a slightest of edges. And really the only reason is because Paulino's silver medalist the past two championships in Tokyo and Eugene, and she ran 48 seconds earlier in the season, May or whatever it was.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So she ran 48 seconds earlier.
Beat Sid running 48. Yeah.
Yeah, she beat Sid, right? And then Sydney, of course, she ran, 48.7, almost broke the American record. But I think of it like if Paulino is able to run 48 seconds in a one-off race, earlier in the season, and then Sydney comes to a championships and she's able to run 48 seconds faster, but not drastically faster, I still think Paulino has a very, very slight edge based on championship experience of the 400 and also drive. Paulino finished second place to Miller Weibo twice. I think she wants gold. Now, it's going to be a fast race, and I think it's going to be very tough. I would love to see Sydney win, but I think Paulino still, just for me, she has a very, very slight edge still.
I can't refute that because I've been claiming Paulino all season long. I will say this, the most impressive thing about that race against Sid, she did not vary from the script. Sid went out. If people don't remember that race, Sid went out like Ghostbusters. Like I didn't know if she was running a 200 or 400. And Paulino was not tripping. She stayed in her lane. She ran her race, and it paid off for her. So I cannot refute that. I think 48 low. I don't see them breaking, and that's hard for me to say because I didn't see Sid running 50.68 last year. But I think like 48-10. You know, somewhere in that ballpark. I could even see a little faster than that. I will say this though. You mentioned Shanae Miller-Weaver.
Yep.
She's entered in the women's 400.
Yep.
And the thing is, she has been competing in a heptathlon. Now she's in the women's 400. I don't know what to expect. Like, what if she wins? Like, what if she comes 5 months after winning, 4 or 5 months after having a baby? What if she comes messes around and comes back and whoops everybody?
I mean, if she managed to come out of nowhere and win, that would be the story of like the decade. Like that would be insane. But I think realistically, because in that heptathlon, she ran like 25 seconds in the 200. And like, so realistically, I mean, you know, I'm not expecting her to even make it through the semifinals, but it doesn't matter, right? Like you said, she's just gave birth. Like, just kudos for even getting on the track and like, you know, being entered here. So yeah.
If she pops 50, I don't know what I'm going to do. If she goes like 49, I don't know what I'm going to do.
She might be the GOAT. Like what?
Her and Faith Kipyegon, who we'll talk about, or Kipyegon, who we'll talk about in a second. That is something I'm looking forward to. Let's run to these hurdles real quick. I think the biggest story, I think the men's hurdles are a little bit more, how do I say this? I think it's Grant Holloway, is Tench. I think it's maybe a 3 or 4 person race. I think Grant has the edge. But this kid from Pittsburgh State who should have been on the Bowerman.
Yes, right.
Look out for this dude because he is for real. Jamaica has some talent too that they're bringing up. The women's 400, I'm sorry, the women's 100 hurdles. That's interesting to me because Toby is not running.
Yep.
And she was getting faster and faster and faster and faster, but she had the 3 whereabout violations, did not get cleared. So now, to me, I was thinking Toby was probably the favorite.
Yeah.
But we're bringing a strong group of American runners, female 100-meter hurdler runners. I still think Jasmine Camacho Quinn wins.
I think
I still have her as the favorite.
Yeah, Jasmine is definitely the favorite. She's definitely still the favorite. You know, every time she steps on the track, she's consistent and she's fast. So Jasmine is definitely the favorite. But like being honest, if I had to pick, I'm going to pick Jasmine to win. But I really think Nia Ali is going to be very close to getting back that gold medal that she won from 2019. She has been literally having the greatest season of her career, and she is like what 34 years old. She's
just crazy.
Like she's given birth like three times. Like she is the definition of like a warrior, of a gamer, of showing up when it counts. And again, she's literally been having the season of her career. She's run 12.3 multiple times already. She's already run faster than what she ran to win her gold medal. Like, I really think it would not surprise me if Nia Ali wins another gold medal here. So, yeah, it's going to be close though. But
that would not be an upset either.
Yeah,
that would not be an upset. I love that pick. She just PR'd,
literally,
which is crazy to me.
Dude, she's 34. Like, she's had so many children. Like, she is a gamer. She's a gamer.
She is a gamer. That would not. I got Jasmine Camacho Quinn. I had Nia Ali second. I actually had Jasmine Camacho Quinn. Just these are just times off the top of my head. 12:19 to 12:21. But that could easily be flipped. That could easily be flipped. So Nia Ali, man, that is a crazy pick. Women's
Yeah.
400-meter hurdles, I think we already know who's going to win that.
Yeah.
Femke
I will say
Bol.
though, don't sleep on the American women, Shamir Little and Dalila Muhammad.
To
Those are
beat Femke Bol.
no, not to beat,
Oh,
but to like no, not to beat. Femke Bol has a gold medal. Like
yes.
she said, unless she hits a hurdle or something crazy, like she's good. But like I really think that, in my opinion, I think Shamir Little is gonna go. She's gonna PR and go like she could go sub 52 seconds. She could run 51 like high. I think she could do it. Because her PR is 52.3 seconds, so she's already down there. So I think she could PR. She's having a good season. And then Dalila Muhammad, she's another one who shows up when it counts. I honestly didn't even pick Dalila to make the USA team just because she unfortunately hasn't done much through the season, but she made the team. She almost actually won, and I think she is very much in contention to get on the podium again. I mean, yeah, if like Sydney didn't exist, and if Sydney didn't run like super fast and all that, Dalila would literally be the greatest 400-meter hurdler of all time.
She was for a year.
Literally was. I mean, like she is the most decorated 400-meter hurdler. Of course, Sydney is building up that medal count, but Dalila is a gamer. So yeah, Femke got the gold though.
Yeah, and how fast do you think she runs?
Femke, I think
she break 51.
I think she does. I think she runs 50.9, 50.8.
Let me tell y'all something. The World Championships obviously pay attention to it. But in Brussels, it was just announced that Sid and Femke are racing off in the 400-meter hurdles. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for that. Like either somebody's going to be pushing 49 seconds in that race, or it's just going to be a dog fight to the end. I don't know, man. Men's 400-meter hurdles. Every fiber of my being wants to pick Ry Benjamin. Every fiber of my being wants to. I don't think so here's what I'll say. Karsten and Ry 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't think it's clear cut for third.
Oh yeah.
I think there's 3 people. I don't think it's clear cut at all. I know Dos Santos will be he is expected based on what he's done this season, coming back from that injury, to snag that third spot. I don't think that's a sure thing. I think CJ Allen or Trevor Bassett can really give him a run for his money for that last spot. That sounds crazy. I know it does. I know it does. Bassett is a gamer. He's a gamer. He performs well at the big time championship levels. CJ Allen, what a story he's been. I don't know, man. I as crazy as this sounds. So I'll simplify it this way. This is what I'll do. If Dos Santos does not break 47, I honestly could see one of those two taking that third spot.
Maybe. So I'll say, I mean, I feel I'm pretty clear cut. Like, as much as like it sucks that Ry Benjamin has been winning silvers, Karsten Warholm, unless he hits a hurdle, it's going to be very tough for me to even like pick him to lose. Yeah. I think he's going to run close to like 45.7 or something. Like I think he's on pace to like kill his world record, and I think Ry Benjamin is on pace to also run sub 46.
Yes.
Yeah. So at least those are top 2 for sure. Now, in my opinion, I think Dos Santos is a clear third based on what he's already done. He almost PR'd in the 400. He ran 47.6 in Monaco or whatever it was, where he hit, I think, hurdle 9 and still ran 47.6, and he beat CJ Allen in that race. I think like, and again, considering like he came off of, surgery and injury, I mean, I think again, he'd have to like hit a hurdle for him to like not get onto the podium. Yeah. CJ Allen has been having a legendary season, but unfortunately at the moment, I just feel like there's significant levels. And also Trevor Bassett, he's a gamer too, and he's a huge talent. But I will also say another one to keep a lookout for is Kyron Master. He's
Okay.
run 47.2 this year. He finished 4th place at the Olympics in Tokyo. He ran 47.0. And he is another one who's a really, really big gamer. So we'll see. But Warholm, Benjamin, those two are gone. I think they're both going 45 for sure.
Does Thing Mo run the 800?
Honestly, I don't know. I initially I thought she does, but I don't even know. I'm gonna say she does, but I really don't know.
Does she win if she runs?
If she runs, she wins. If she runs, she wins. I don't think it's gonna be like too much of a competition. It'll be competition, but like I think she's super talented. She's run 158 this year on her first race. She got 2nd place in the 15 at USA's, or 2nd or 3rd, I forget exactly, but like she has so much talent that it's very like she's the favorite. Now, Keely as well as Mary Mora, they're going to be on her heels. I think Mary Mora from Kenya is a huge, huge talent waiting to like kind of pop out. Like she beat Keely in one or two races or something like that. So not sleep. But if a thing Mo runs, she's the favorite. But I don't know if she's gonna run. I honestly have no idea.
I don't either. I think it's gonna be a great race regardless of if she runs or not. I don't think it's as clear cut if Keely, if a thing doesn't run, I think Keely will be the favorite, but I don't think it's a guarantee that she wins because Natasha Gold, you got Mary Mora, so many talented 800-meter runners. Really, it's just hard to move forward because that is just, it's just dependent on if she runs. I think from our perspective, like the Team USA perspective, men's 800, simple question. Do we do better than last year? Meaning, do we get at least one person to the semifinals?
I think we do. I mean, I think we do. Like, yeah, I think the USA will get. I think all 3 of the guys will get to the semifinals. It'll be disappointing if they don't, but yeah, I think all 3 of them will get to the semis, and I think all 3 of them will be able to. Well, I don't know if all 3, but I think someone will be able to get to the finals. Bryce Hoppel has really been looking good. He's run 143, I think, this year already. I think in Monaco he ran 143, just under 144. He's been looking good. Clayton Murphy, of course, he's Olympic silver medalist. He's always a gamer, and then Isaiah. It's Isaiah Harris is on the team, I think, right? Yeah, so I think we'll get to semifinals, and then I mean Bryce Hoppel's probably the favorite to get into the final, but challenging for a medal is a whole different story. But yeah,
in the women's and men's distance races, I'm going to kind of lump them together in a sense. Sifan Hassan is doing like 6 races since that world or something like that, and then it's going to turn around and run a marathon soon.
Yeah.
Do you think she does all 3? Do you think she medals in any of them?
I think I'm pretty sure she's going to drop out of one of them, and I think it's going to be the 15. I think she's going to go for the 10K 5K double as opposed to the 15. And then with that, I think she medals in both of them, the 10K and the 5K. I think she has a really strong hold, though. I need to check. I don't know if Gudov Sagai from Ethiopia, I don't know if she's going to run the 5K and the 15 or just the 15 or just the 5K. I'm not sure, but at least I think Sifan Hassan medals in both the 10K and the 5K.
So want to wrap this up, and like I said, we weren't going to cover all of them.
Yeah.
But we will with this question, and this is just a broad question for all events.
Yeah.
Who is your sleeper? 2 sleeper picks that are going to come away that we're going to be like, oh boy, they belong on the big stage.
Man, sleeper picks. This is hard. Wow, sleeper picks in any events. I'm gonna say, man, I don't know if this is. This is hard. Sleeper picks. I want to give like good sleeper picks. Like,
you want me to go real quick?
Go ahead. Give me your sleeper picks.
I got Elise Cranny.
Mm.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. I don't think anybody is beating Faith in anything. They could have a boxing match. You're not beating Faith. Like she is different. Like it's just, I'm just curious to see what she decides to run. Because she could run 13:55 if she wanted to in the 5K. My sleeper picks, I think Elise Cranny, because the 5K is just what she's good at. She's coming along this season. She talked about, being a little burnt out, revived that up in camp. I think this is going to be I think her and Monson for the US women's distance and middle distance. Mad love to Nikki Hiltz, mad love to Sinclair Johnson. I do think, and Corey McGee, I do believe that they're going to make a push in that women's 1500. For whatever reason, I feel like Elise could be the best shot to get on the medal stand. And that's tough because there's some stiff competition in that women's 5K. There's some stiff competition within the American contingent in the 5K. Alicia Monson just dropped a huge time recently, as well as the 10K. She's definitely one that I would, say look out for. Here's another one. It's a shot putter. Adelaide Aquila. So Maggie Ewan, my opinion, is the favorite. Chase Ely, the defending champion. We could argue she could be the favorite, but based on the consistency of this season, I have to put Maggie Ewan in there. Adelaide's different, dude. I think she is the next great shot putter from The Ohio State University. Made the pro move, and she's doing pretty well, made the team. I really do think she could be that collegiate athlete that does pretty well. I wouldn't surprise me if she found her way to the medal stand. Obviously, like I said, if you look at obviously the throws and just the rankings and just the place, I can understand. But this beautiful thing about the World Championships, somebody that you don't expect in some event will take home a medal in some form or fashion.
Yeah, those are very, very good. Those are very good picks. So I'm gonna give you two also, one on the men's and one on the women's side. So first on the men's side, my sleeper pick, and I actually don't even know what event he's gonna run, but Dream Richards from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Now, I forget exactly what place he finished last year in the 200. I think it was either fifth or sixth, something like that. But he won Commonwealth gold in the 200. He has a personal best of 19.80. He is very much in contention for a medal in the 200. But if not the 200, he's also in contention for a medal in the 400. He just ran, I think he's run a personal best twice this year, and he's run 44.54. Now, that's not sub 44 seconds yet, but he's really shown he's a world indoor champion in the 400. Dream Richards is someone who definitely should not be slept on. He has a lot of potential. So that's on the guy's side. But then for the women, I'm also going to go into the field, and in the triple jump, the women's triple jump, I'm looking at Thea LaFond. So
I know, I was thinking about that one too. I love that. I love that.
Thea LaFond really has a lot of potential as well. And she's been super consistent. She's been jumping like 14.4 meters. She has she's been pretty consistent overall. And I think last year, I forget exactly where she finished, but I think she finished fifth place at World Championships last year. And she had a very big foul at World Championships last year that was probably about 15 meters. I think she's a sleeper to potentially get on that podium and do some damage. So Dream Richards, Thea LaFond from Dominica, not Dominican Republic, Dominica. So shout out to both of them. They're something to look out for.
Last two questions. What college athlete, and by college athlete, I mean an athlete who competed in college this season, will we look back and say, you know what? This is going to be insane, their future. For me, it's Jaden Hibbert in the triple jump. Jaden Hibbert, y'all, let me tell you something. He's different. Did not lose a triple jump event until he went over to the Diamond League. I forgot which Diamond League he competed in, but he came in second place.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to win, but boy, I think he's going to put on a show. That he was just unbelievable in what he did. And I think that, I don't know, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing, what he does. Like I'm really high on that kid. Like Jamaica, you found one. Man.
Yeah, dude, that is a good pick. He is the future. He is the future. Like absolutely. I'll go on to the women's side. I'm gonna say Rashida Adeleke, the 400-meter
Oh,
champion from Texas. She won the 400 over Britton Wilson at USA's. I'm sorry, at NCAA's. She ran 49.2. She is going to be a problem. I am picking her to get onto the podium in the 400.
ooh.
It's going to be very tough, but she's already shown that she is no joke, and she's still learning the 400. I think this is just the beginning of what's possible for her in the future. And you know, she competes for Ireland. She has like some Nigerian roots as well, so I think she has a lot of potential. So Adeleke from Texas competing for Ireland, she's going to be a problem in the 400.
Who, and this will be the last question, who's going to put on the biggest show?
The biggest show.
I ain't
Man.
gonna lie to you. I'll let you think. I'll go first. I think Anna Hall is going to put on a show. Now, her path to win gold just got much bigger as the defending champion is not competing. Regardless, I think we could see a world record or come very, very close.
Yeah. He's close. He's close. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to say, for me, the biggest show, probably going to be, in my opinion, the story, one of the biggest stories is going to be Shericka Jackson. Yes. I personally, and I didn't dive into the 100 too much, but I'm picking Shericka Jackson to win the double, the 100 and the 200. Edge on in the 100, but I think she's going to, I really think she's going to break the world record in the 200. And I think she's going to run something crazy in the 100 as well. The 100 is going to be tougher. There's a lot more competition, but I think Shericka Jackson is going to be like, oh crap, like, what did she just do at these championships? So we'll see though.
Like, I'm thinking 10:55 in the 100 and like 21:29. And I may be way ahead. That may be, I know that sounds crazy. Listen, I probably am wrong, but I love that pick. I don't think we're gonna see as many world records as we did last year.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Krause is gonna break the world record on his first attempt, basically. You know, certain things like that. I think for the distance, the men's distance, I know we didn't get to in the steeplechase. Certainly, a lot of things going on in that. It's going to be entertaining to watch. But like I said, this was just a little comprehensive, you know, view of just a few things that we found interesting. We love all the events in track and field. So definitely looking forward to each and every event. The men's 800, you know, we touched on it briefly. Talked about the steeplechase. 10K is going to be a good one. 5K is going to be a good one. So it's going to be fun. The marathon is going to be a good one. So please be sure to stay tuned. But Anderson, where can the people find you? I'm sure you're going to be doing some breakdowns before, during, and after. Where can the people find you, support your journey, support your channel?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Final leg on YouTube. Go check out the final leg. Yeah, definitely going to be, I'll put out like my full kind of predictions over the next couple of days. Track and Field Black History on Instagram. Going to be putting some stuff out there as we lead to World Championships. And yeah, I'll be in Budapest, luckily, getting some coverage for a lot of people. So definitely stay tuned. A lot more to come for sure.
So definitely please stay tuned to that. If you're interested in running a 5K, the Brave Light Gate 5K is coming up in September. Use the code Lactic Acid, all caps, no spaces. You're going to get a discount at the registration. The link to sign up for the 5K is below. Please sign up for this amazing cause. You're going to have a great time. You do not want to miss it. Hope everybody enjoys the World Championships. Be sure to follow both platforms on social media. Follow our YouTube pages, The Final Leg, as well as Lactic Acid, and we will catch you next time.